Lamine Yamal is the kind of talent the football world sees only once in half a century. Even Inter Milan's manager Simone Inzaghi had to admit it, right after witnessing a jaw-dropping performance by the 17-year-old that left the entire stadium breathless, in a dramatic 3-3 draw in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final. That praise was not just filled with admiration and surprise, but also tinged with the concern of a tactician who knew he had just faced a phenomenon. And it is not just Inzaghi. Football legend Thierry Henry could not hide his excitement when speaking about the young star. He shared that football always finds ways to surprise us. Just when you think no one can surpass Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldinho, or Maradona, suddenly, Lamine Yamal appears. The storm named Yamal is truly shaking Europe and raising one major question. At just 17, is he already the #1 talent on the continent? Born in Esplugue de Llobregat and raised in the legendary atmosphere of La Masia, Lamine Yamal revealed his prodigious gifts from an early age. By the time he was 5, he was already a sensation. At the academy, he constantly played above his age group and shattered records for his generation. But La Masia has seen many talents rise and fade under pressure. Yamal is different. Pressure seems not to shake him, but rather forge a calmness, composure, and maturity that is simply astonishing. Pundits value Yamal not just for his silky dribbling or spectacular goals, but for his outstanding football intelligence, his ability to read the game, and his readiness to shoulder responsibility in high-stakes moments. These are traits usually seen in established stars, not teenage footballers. The clash with Inter Milan became a golden milestone in Yamal's still young career, marking his 100th appearance for Barcelona's first team. His equalizing goal was not just a technical masterpiece, it was a statement of arrival. A solo run from the right wing, weaving through a packed defense before curling a left-footed strike into the far corner. Veteran goalkeeper Jan Sommer could only watch as the ball nestled into the net. That goal was not just about technique, it was a complete display of pace, confidence, composure, and decision-making under immense pressure. Throughout the match, every time the ball touched Yamal's feet, the crowd held its breath, waiting for the next spark of magic. It could be a blistering sprint past defenders, a line-breaking pass, or a dazzling piece of footwork that left opponents stumbling in confusion. Right after that stunning strike, Lamine Yamal continued to dazzle. In one sublime move, he executed a sharp reverse feint that completely took Federico Di Marco out of the play. The Italian defender slid off the pitch as if cut off from the rhythm of the game. If not for the fingertips of Jan Sommer, Yamal would have had another wonder goal to his name. The stats speak for themselves. The match against Inter Milan marked Yamal's 100th appearance for Barcelona's senior side. He has scored 22 goals and delivered 33 assists. By comparison, at the same age, Cristiano Ronaldo had played just 19 games, scoring 5 and assisting 4. Lionel Messi had only 9 appearances, with 1 goal to his name. With numbers that loud and a breakout performance against Inter, it is no surprise former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand declared, "In terms of pure footballing skill, I can confidently say Lamine is on a different level compared to any other player currently competing in the top 5 leagues in Europe." Still, that statement immediately sparked debate among experts. No one denies the extraordinary potential of Yamal. His candidacy for a future Ballon d'Or is completely justified. But the path to the top of European football is filled with challenges. First and foremost, Yamal must improve his ability to maintain a consistent scoring output if he wants to catch up with seasoned finishers like Mohamed Salah, who even at the age of 32 continues to dominate with staggering statistics. Beyond that, veteran journalist Oliver Kay from The Athletic has also issued a word of caution, pointing to the case of Ansu Fati, a once brilliant prospect at the age of 17 who later faded due to injuries and immense pressure. Kay believes that after the era of Messi and Ronaldo, the title of the best player in the world will become harder to predict, with multiple rising stars taking turns to shine, each depending on the moment. Back to Yamal. His display against Inter was far from a one-off. He had already played a key role in helping Spain win the Euro 2024, delivered 2 assists in the tense Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid, and now continues to be the brightest star in the Champions League. Lamine has become just the second teenager in history to score in the round of 16, the quarterfinal, and the semi-final of a single Champions League season. a feat first achieved by Kylian Mbappe in the 2016-2017 campaign. A closer look at the match against Inter reveals numbers that underline just how influential this 17-year-old has become. Lamine had 102 touches, second only to Frankie de Jong and Pedri. Inside Inter's penalty area alone, he recorded 17 touches, more than the entire Inter squad combined, which had only 15, and almost matching the rest of Barcelona's total of 20. What stands out most is his initiative. Lamine does not wait for teammates to set the table. He regularly drops deep to receive the ball and uses his individual brilliance to penetrate defenses. With 11 dribble attempts and 6 successful take-ons, more than anyone else on the pitch, Yamal is proving he is no longer just a promising youngster. He is already a pillar of the team. Even manager Inzaghi had to admit that Inter were forced to assign 3 players to mark Lamine and had to tweak their tactical setup in the second half just to try to contain him. With everything he has shown, Lamine Yamal is truly an earthquake, shaking the landscape of European football. The fact that an opposing team had to adjust its entire defensive system just to neutralize a 17-year-old says it all. That is not just respect, it is genuine concern. Is he the best player in Europe right now? Maybe not just yet if we measure consistency, goals, and accolades, but no one can deny this. Lamine is currently the most thrilling, most watched, and most promising name in world football. He is a phenomenon in every sense of the word, a raw diamond being polished at breakneck speed, already showing the qualities of a world-class star. His breathtaking performance against Inter Milan was not just a good game, it was a firm statement of his caliber and courage. Lamine is not just carrying responsibility at Barcelona, he is fast becoming the symbol of hope for an entire generation of football lovers. Since Lionel Messi left Camp Nou, Barcelona have struggled in their search for a new leader, someone who could strike fear into opponents from the first touch. And now, that unease is returning to defenders' faces whenever they line up against Barcelona. The one causing it is none other than Lamine Yamal. Opponents are no longer just parking the bus, they are constantly adapting to the real threat coming down the right wing. Veteran journalist Graham Hunter from ESPN even offered a bold take. At 17, he said, "Lamine scares me more than Messi did at the same age." Messi was a technical genius, but Lamine has tactical awareness and game intelligence that are simply astonishing. Of course, comparing Yamal to Messi in terms of full career is far too early, but to say Lamine is following the same path the Argentine legend once took is not an exaggeration. And if one day the name Lamine Yamal is called for the Ballon d'Or, it would not come as a surprise. Right now, the title of best player in the world remains a topic for debate, but in terms of excitement, influence, and the ability to make the world hold its breath, no one comes close to Lamine Yamal. What makes him both admired and feared is the fact that he has not even reached his full potential. The only question left is, where exactly is the ceiling for this jewel from La Masia?